something is different this time, something that even longtime Heartland fans didn't see coming. Season 19 isn't just continuing the story, it's rewriting everything we thought we knew. Hidden truths are surfacing, long-buried emotions are boiling over, and the peaceful routine of Heartland is about to be shaken to its core. This isn't just another chapter. This is the season where secrets break free, relationships are tested like never before, and shocking twists leave everyone questioning what comes next. Season 19 begins with a noticeable shift in tone, one that's more emotionally charged, raw, and layered than what we've seen before. The show has always touched on personal growth and healing, but this time it dives deep into the unspoken wounds that the characters have long hidden from themselves and each other. Amy, as always, remains at the heart of the emotional landscape, but now her journey takes a bold and vulnerable turn. She isn't just healing from the past, she's confronting it. Memories of her time with Ty resurface, not as comforting flashbacks, but as painful reminders of the love she lost and the parts of herself she buried to keep moving forward. What makes this even more intense is the emotional push and pull she feels between honoring Ty's memory and opening herself up to something, or someone, new. This inner conflict quietly simmers beneath her calm exterior, and viewers will find themselves torn right along with her. Amy's resilience shines, but so does her emotional fragility. For the first time, she allows herself to admit that moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to carry the past differently. But Amy isn't the only one facing emotional upheaval. Lou finds herself caught between her ambitions and her reality. Her role as mayor continues to pull her further from the ranch, and her choices have started to weigh heavily on her family life. There's tension building, subtle at first, but undeniable. Georgie's possible return only stirs things up more, bringing with her a complicated energy that challenges Lou's image of control. The family, though always supportive, begins to show small fractures, and for the first time in years, silence starts replacing conversations. Meanwhile, a new character enters the scene, a young ranch hand with a quiet demeanor and secrets that seem too big for someone so young. No one knows exactly where they came from or why they're so guarded, but it becomes clear they've experienced something that left a permanent scar. Their connection with the Fleming Bartlett family starts small. Simple work, brief conversations, but it slowly becomes a thread that weaves into everyone's life, especially Amy's. There's something about this newcomer that stirs old emotions and forces Amy to see things she's long avoided. Jack, the family's pillar, senses the emotional storms before anyone else. He watches closely, not just out of love, but because something about the mood at Heartland feels off, like the calm before a storm. His instincts tell him that change is coming, something bigger than any of them have prepared for. He doesn't say it outright, but his actions speak volumes. He becomes more protective, more thoughtful, and even a bit distant as he processes the shifting energy around him. Even Tim, always quick to act and react, begins showing signs of emotional restraint. His usual outbursts are replaced by quiet reflection, especially when dealing with the new ranch hand. There's an uneasy familiarity he can't quite place, and it forces him to confront his own past decisions, some of which may tie directly into the season's biggest spoiler. As the days unfold, the bonds between family members are tested, not with dramatic outbursts, but with quiet tension, unspoken disappointments, and emotional distance. Heartland has always shown strength in family unity, but Season 19 dares to ask, what happens when love isn't enough to hold it all together? When history haunts every corner of the ranch, and when every step forward threatens to bring someone further apart? One thing is certain, this season is holding nothing back. And as secrets start bubbling to the surface, fans will be left wondering not just what happens next, but who they can really trust. As Season 19 deepens, the weight of hidden truths begins pressing heavily on every corner of Heartland. The peaceful flow of life on the ranch starts to feel different, less like routine, and more like a slow unraveling. Each character is pulled into their own emotional current, and the calm, steady ground they've always relied on begins to crack beneath them. What once felt safe now feels uncertain, and the sense of trust within the family begins to blur. Amy, still trying to balance grief, motherhood, and identity, finds herself increasingly drawn toward the new ranch hand. There's something about him, his silence, his haunted eyes, that mirrors what she's buried within herself. Their shared understanding is wordless but powerful. And though Amy isn't actively seeking connection, one begins to form anyway. It's quiet, tender, and deeply confusing. She feels guilty for it, even afraid of what it might mean. Could she be betraying Ty's memory? Or is this the first sign that her heart is finally starting to heal? But this closeness doesn't go unnoticed. Jack, always protective of Amy, grows suspicious. Not because he doesn't trust her, but because he knows how fragile recovery can be. He starts keeping a close watch on the ranch hand, sensing that something isn't being said. Jack's instincts are rarely wrong, and this time, they're ringing louder than ever. He remembers the last time a stranger came to Heartland with a troubled past, and how it changed everything. Meanwhile, Lou's carefully built life starts to slip through her fingers. Her responsibilities in town pull her in one direction, while her daughters, her family, and the ranch pull her in another. The balance she once maintained now feels like a burden, and even Peter begins to notice the cracks forming in her. Their co-parenting rhythm is disrupted by unexpected tension, and an old conversation that was never fully resolved resurfaces at the worst possible time. It isn't just about work anymore, it's about identity, about purpose, about the price of ambition. Mallory, usually the source of lighthearted moments, is also swept into the season's emotional current. She begins questioning her place at Heartland. The return of Georgie, rumored yet uncertain, brings up old insecurities. Mallory wonders whether she truly belongs or if she's just filling a gap. The tension between past and present is something every character is feeling in their own way, and it creates emotional ripples that affect even the most stable relationships. As secrets begin to rise, so do the questions. Who is this new ranch hand really? Why does he react so strongly to certain parts of the ranch? Certain memories? Certain names? A moment arrives, a quiet, almost forgettable moment, where he slips and says something he shouldn't know. Amy catches it. She doesn't say anything at first, but her heart races. That one sentence begins to unravel everything. It suggests a history none of them expected, one that could link him to Heartland in a way that changes everything. Tim becomes more restless. He starts digging through conversations, through memories, even through old records. And what he finds isn't just shocking, it's personal. Something he did years ago, something he thought was buried, may now be resurfacing in the form of this stranger. It's no longer about curiosity, it's about consequences. And the guilt that Tim has carried quietly for so long now threatens to become public. The emotional threads that tie the Heartland family together start to fray, not from betrayal, but from truth. The very thing they've always valued, honesty, openness, love, becomes the force that could drive them apart. Each character is forced to confront parts of themselves they've ignored for too long. Some handle it with grace, others with anger, but none are left unchanged. Season 19 doesn't rush to reveal everything. Instead, it builds tension slowly, letting each emotional moment settle before moving to the next. The beauty of the ranch remains, but the feeling has shifted. It's no longer just a place of healing, it's a place of reckoning. And as viewers, we can feel it. That edge, that growing suspense, that sense that something big is coming. A storm is brewing, not in the sky, but in the hearts of those who call Heartland home. And when it breaks, nothing will ever be the same again. The tension that has been simmering beneath the surface finally erupts. And when it does, Heartland is no longer the quiet, healing place it used to be. Season 19 reaches its emotional peak with revelations that no one saw coming. The family, once held together by love and tradition, now finds itself standing on shaky ground, shaken by truths that have been hidden for far too long. Amy, once the calm center of Heartland, finds herself at the heart of the season's most painful discovery. The young ranch hand she's slowly grown to trust and feel emotionally connected to turns out to have a direct link to her past and ties. He isn't just a drifter with a quiet soul. He's the son of someone connected to Ty's troubled history, a man from a chapter Ty had tried to forget, a time filled with pain, danger, and regret. This revelation shakes Amy to her core. All the emotions she thought she had worked through, loss, anger, hope, come rushing back, but now mixed with betrayal and confusion. She doesn't know what to believe. Was the ranch hand hiding this truth all along, or did he not know himself? Did fate bring him here, or was it a deliberate decision? Questions swirl, and with them comes the heartbreak of realizing that the connection she was beginning to feel might be built on something broken. Amy is forced to step away, not just from him, but from her own emotions, just to catch her breath. But what hurts more is that she can't talk to Ty. He was always the one who helped her see clearly, and now, with his absence, she feels more alone than ever. Jack, watching it all unfold, tries to keep the family grounded, but even he begins to falter. The past he worked so hard to protect Amy from is now staring them all in the face. He begins blaming himself, wondering if his silence and secrets helped create this moment. His guilt turns to action. And for the first time in years, Jack opens up about something he swore he never would. Something from Ty's early days at Heartland, involving a decision he made to protect the family, but one that now seems to have backfired. Lou, meanwhile, faces her own breaking point. The mounting pressure of her career, parenting, and personal life has led to one misstep after another. When Georgie returns, she brings not only new energy, but also a set of hard questions about the family's direction. Georgie's emotional intelligence cuts through the noise and confronts Lou with the reality that trying to manage everything means losing control of the things that matter most. A late-night confrontation between Lou and Georgie becomes one of the season's most intense moments. Raw, honest, and painfully revealing. It's not a fight, it's a release. Years of unsaid emotions pour out, and in that moment, the illusion of perfection finally breaks. Tim's secrets also come crashing down. His investigation into the ranch hand's past leads him to a confession, a decision he made in the past that may have directly or indirectly affected Ty's life in ways he never imagined. The guilt becomes overwhelming, and when he finally admits the truth, it doesn't bring immediate forgiveness. Instead, it sends shockwaves through the family. They trusted him, and now they don't know what to feel. Tim, usually defensive and stubborn, shows something rare: regret. And that vulnerability finally makes him human in the eyes of those he's hurt. But even amidst the wreckage, there is light. Because Heartland has never been about perfection. It's about resilience. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes something the family starts to face together. Conversations once avoided finally happen. Apologies are made, not always accepted, but spoken nonetheless. And in these quiet, vulnerable moments, we see the real beauty of the season. Amy begins to understand that moving forward doesn't mean escaping the past. It means learning from it. She doesn't know what her future holds, but for the first time, she's okay with not knowing. She's ready to rediscover who she is, not just as Ty's widow or Lindy's mother, but as a woman who has endured, changed, and grown. The final episodes of Season 19 set the stage for a new beginning, not one built on fantasy, but on hard-earned truth. The family, though shaken, begins to rebuild, not from scratch, but from a place of deeper understanding. Their connections are no longer based on what they avoid, but on what they choose to face together. And just when things begin to settle, the final moments drop one more twist. A letter, a photo, a name, something unexpected, something that changes the course of everything again. Season 19 doesn't just entertain, it transforms. And as the credits roll, one thing is certain: Heartland will never be the same again. Sometimes, the stories that stay with us the longest are the ones that break us a little before they begin to heal us. Season 19 of Heartland is not just a continuation, it's a mirror held up to every character's soul, revealing the parts they've hidden, the pain they've carried, and the love they still hold on to even after everything seems lost. Amy's quiet strength, Jack's silent watchfulness, Lou's inner war, Tim's unraveling truth, every moment this season feels more personal, more real. We're not just watching them, we're feeling what they feel, asking the same questions, holding our breath at the same moments. This isn't just fiction anymore, it's something deeper. And maybe that's why Heartland has lasted this long, because it reminds us that families break, love gets messy, and life doesn't always give us easy answers. But through it all, healing is possible. Even when the path is painful, even when the truth hurts, it's the courage to keep going that makes all the difference. So, as we wait for the next twist, the next revelation, the next flicker of hope, ask yourself this. What would you do if the past came knocking on your door? Would you run from it or finally face it? If this journey has stirred something in you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more emotional deep dives, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. Because trust me, Heartland isn't done with us yet. The story is far from over. Until next time, hold on to hope and stay close to the heart.